This morning we're going to begin with a song that's an affirmation. I am the radiant life of God. Vivian Clark used to have us play this once a month, year after year. And I think it's maybe good to revisit this and reaffirm that we are the radiant light of God. Maestro, if you please.
Shall I play it through once?
You may play it through once. We are the light, the wisdom, the power of God. But isn't it like odd that almost everything we say or do or listen to is controlled by some sort of belief or opinion within us? If you stop and think about it, where did those opinions and belief? I mean, we won't listen to a TV show that doesn't agree with our way of looking at things. We aren't interested in having a conversation with someone who has maybe a whole different point of view about something. And these beliefs, we've got beliefs that we got when we were 4 years old. We don't even know their beliefs. We're not aware of them, but they will control our response in a conversation. So I'm going to go back to what Vivian used to say. Question everything. Question those beliefs. Why can't you sit down and have a cup of coffee with someone who disagrees greatly with your opinion about the school system or healthcare and listen to what they have to say? Maybe you might see a different point of view that may adjust that belief you've had since you were 9 years old that wasn't yours in the first place. So that's something that I ask each of us to think about. When we start spouting off that same response, watching the same program, talking to the same people, how does that allow us to grow? How does that allow us to expand our awareness? How does that allow us to enrich our lives? It's a broken record. Just something to think about. And so it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I've been working my tail off real hard with this company I work for, working for the suit and tie. And of course, the bottom line is always dependent on them trying to squeeze everything they can out of us, less people to do more work. And I work really hard and do a good job, so they count on me doing the work of 2 people or more. Last couple weeks, I've had a lead guy on our team, and I'm working on a paving crew. So there's a whole surgical team of folks that it takes to make that job happen. A whole lot of moving pieces in play for a good product to happen every day. And when you have one person in the crew not showing up, not being reliable, not pulling their weight, it makes it hard on everybody else. And I have a lead guy that I'm supposed to be working behind, and he's been having problems. Unreliable, showing up late, I'm feeling sick, emotionally unstable, a whole bunch of things that point to some issues that are part of my history. And yet, this week there was a day that, once again, he was late, something happened, I'm sick, traffic, whatever the excuse was of the day. And all of a sudden, I'm having to do the work of 3 people. In the job, we have techs that run around with a gauge that check to see that we've achieved certain numbers for density to make sure that the product, it lasts and that it's done right. Otherwise, you've wasted a whole lot. Nowadays, I think the magic number running through my head just for our trucking alone, not with the materials, is $30,000 a day just for the trucks. Show up for my crew mobilization is somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000 for that paving crew to just arrive at the site and not even put a key in. For one person to come in there and cause the product to be lousy, for me to not be able to keep up, is rough. And it was a week or so ago, Kelly shared a message talking about those Costco people. And the Costco people, it's like, how could they be so wasteful and leaving meat on the aisles and, And what ran through my mind is there was an old story, and I don't like the chapter and verse, but this one was from the Bible. And there was a thing I remembered a long time ago about hypocrite. How dare you go looking to pull the toothpick splinter sawdust from your neighbor's eye before you remove the rafter from your own? And in my heart, what spiritual principles does this person need? By grace, I could be him and I was him. How much damage did we do? Any of us. None of us walk on water. None of us are that perfect and good. We all make human mistakes. But had it not been for kindness, compassion, patience, care, tolerance, I wouldn't be where I am today. And every sick human being, and that man is a sick man, Ben needs prayers. He doesn't need judgment and condemnation. He needs care. And I hope he finds that, and I can hold him up in my prayers. But for all of us, when that person is suffering, even when it makes our day really darn hard, and future of our work, they picked out the best paving crew in the company. We have 4 paving crews, and I'm on the best crew. They sent us into that job because our future contracts depend on us doing a good job. One person can screw it up for everyone. It's been a rough week. The better days were when that person was replaced and I got to work with 3 women on the crew, and that never happened. So kindness, care, compassion, hold those sick people up that they can maybe get the care they need. By grace, maybe they can find healing and hope too. But it was rough. But today's a wonderful day. So thank you.
Thank you, Sabrena. They were talking about me, the one that's always messing it up for everybody else. I've become very good at that. Well, good morning. Glad to see you all here today. I've got news. Let's start off with our Thursday morning ladies' spiritual book study. Is it going to be this Thursday?
Yes.
At?
In fact, we're going to be here in the social hall.
Okay.
Through the month of August.
Okay. So, I've got some good news. Our ramp is fixed. It just, the bottom rotted out, and it took special bit of stuff to get done. And I'd like to tell about how that came to pass. There's a lady, and I'll just use the name Beth. She has been part of our 6 p.m. Sunday fellowship for years, decades. And her husband is wheelchair person. He has to be in a wheelchair, and depended on that ramp, and understood that we don't have a $30,000 repair budget. Just pick up the phone and call somebody and make it happen tomorrow. And she called us several weeks ago, maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, and said, I have a contractor who does work for me. I will pay them if you'll direct them to fix the ramp. And they did. Friday morning, we finally, it took us a little bumping, banging around to get it scheduled. Friday morning, 2.5 hours, they were done. And it's back to good. And we need to give it a little coat of paint and a little bit of ickum-pucky on it to seal the crack. But we're good. So all these things, they just keep happening okay. And what else is going on? The 15th of August from 4 to 6 will be a free concert. It's actually a fundraiser. They hope that people will put money in a jar for our scholarships for our accordion students. So that from 4 to 6 on Friday evening, 3 or 4 of the best accordionists in the world will put on a 2-hour show. And you can come. You don't have to put nothing in the bucket. It's just come. And Saturday morning, starting about 9:30, we've got 8 students who will be putting on a show, 3 songs apiece, for their scholarship competition. And that's Saturday morning from about 9 till noon. Saturday afternoon, the results of those scholarship competition things go, and each one of those 8 young people will receive a scholarship at the Accordion Festival downtown. So it's just, we tried to learn how to participate in that for years. And about 8 years ago, Sherry Mignana said, Pat, could we do that? I said, absolutely, we can do that. Let's make it happen. So we've been doing it for, this is either 8th or 9th year of hosting the student stage. So I think that's a great thing. Other announcements? Does anybody have anything? Talk about.
I'll finish off the food barrel because I need to get them to pick it up. So if you haven't dropped it in, get hold of them, and I'll be calling them in the next 2 weeks or so. And then this morning I received a phone call, those of you that have been here for a while, from Emily. Let's hold her in your thoughts and prayers. She's going into hip surgery tomorrow. She's going to do fine, but needs a little bit of our love and encouragement and juice going her way.
Okay, good. Emily's back east somewhere, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. There are so many people in our lives right now that are facing challenge, going through dark spots, painful spots, having anxiety, maybe having some real health crisis. So we are the radiant life of God. We are the radiant power of God. We are the light of God. So let's send that power, that light, that energy, that healing, that forgiveness, whatever that light needs to be for whoever needs it. Let's say some names and put some label direction on this energy we're about to share. Connie.
Jeffrey and his daughters. Yeah. Sherry.
Nancy.
Tom and Daisy. Emily.
okay. Let's breathe in, and when we breathe out, let's send out this light and energy of God. May each of us feel a little gratitude for satisfaction that we have something to do with spreading the light of the divine throughout our universe. And so it is. We have been conditioned and told and criticized by society from the day, I think from the day most of us started our first day of school. We're too tall, we're too short. Our hair is the right color, we're too skinny, we're too fat, we're too bony, we're too loud, we've got freckles, we don't have freckles. We have been told we are less than, that we are not perfect, that we are not beautiful, that we are not worthy. Well, that's a bunch of bunk. We are. We are the radiant life of God. We are the Spirit. And how could anybody ever tell us we weren't beautiful? Let's stand up and sing this song. I think it's number, 14 in the songbook? Now you may address and greet that beautiful person standing next to you.
Always good to see you.
Thank you. Isn't that wonderful? That's almost, it's nearly as good as waking up and having a couple chocolate donuts first thing in the morning. I forgot to mention something. Becca, at the close of service, if you have like 45 seconds, could you see me for a moment? Thank you. You know, we share our time, our talent, our thought, and our treasure. That's what we ask our members to commit to. Because in our lives, as we live our lives, we have time. Time is a major part of our life. We have talent. Each one of us has a specific, unique talent. We all have the ability to think. As much as people don't want us to, we do have that ability. And we all have an opportunity to share our money or other abundance that we might have. Some of us grow gardens and we can share the food. Some of us, it's just sharing keeps that flow of abundance in whatever form flowing through us and keeping that flow of abundance active throughout the universe. Because that abundance is everywhere. It's just waiting for us to let it go through us. Use it. Pass it on. Make it a little better. Who knows? Let's read together the affirmation of abundance, please. When we choose to give, if our gift is inspired by gratitude rather than obligation, we are manifesting the power of the divine and the spiritual principle of abundance. May we ponder that wisdom, sir. Thank you, Wayne. As we prepare ourselves for our meditation this morning, let's sing together In the Stillness of the Silence. I believe it's number 97 in the Wings.
Good morning. Let's settle into our bodies and walk in straight file into a meadow. Good friends of Church of the Oaks, gather in a circle surrounding a fire pit. Look around. This is our congregation. Remember who all is here with us. Include those who have moved away, passed this way, or passed away. They are all with us now to watch and lend guidance. In this evolutionary moment, find your strength and accept unity. May our quest manifest into a journey of enrichment. As we surround a bonfire, I call on Patrick to pitch the match that starts the fire. Watch those flames fly high, and with it, send our attention and yearning and knowing. Into the bonfire cast your ailments, old fears, false beliefs, and doubts. Unburden yourself and be new in the now. Feel the space that creates and fill it up with fresh ideas. Transmute your frustrations into manifestations by raising your personal energy. Cast your eyes high and feel the heat of our combined passion for evolution. Something new, something that all together we are calling forth. Together we can call forth a change. Know what that is for you. Know what that is for our community. With 3 deep breaths, I'm asking you to be the fire of change. Inhale now. Exhale. We can't blow out that fire. Inhale once again. Feel the energy build inside and around you. Inhale one more time. Be the breath of fire. Follow the flame into your meditation. Breathe. Breathe. Jump into the abundance of energy. Feel the embodiment of the change you want to see in the world. May our quest manifest into a journey of enrichment. and be here now.
Thank you, Joy. Last week, I tried to articulate the evolution and the way we have evolved over the last 25 years into something that is very, very unique. And Doug, you weren't here last week, but I quoted you, or I referred to you in that we are something very, very unique. And when Doug and Becca and the girls moved back from Denver, he said, wait, look, there's nothing like you anywhere, nothing like this place. Is that not true? Paraphrase, just almost verbatim. We are very unique. And we've worked diligently to stay on that course. I'm going to kind of continue, and I'm going to offer some things for you to just think about, ponder. In this uniqueness that we have been trying to establish and create. About me personally, I am what you call your minister. We have a contract, it says right at the top, minister's contract. I'm okay with that label, because it's kind of, define that exactly. It's got some wiggle room in it. I really don't care to be called a preacher, or a rabbi, or a priest, or a shaman, or an ayatollah, or a holy man, or a guru, or a teacher. Our quest here is to have spiritual experience, to have more spiritual experience in our life. And you can't teach that. You can't go to courses and buy books and go to seminars and learn how to have spiritual experience. That can only come from developing a practice of increased or expanded awareness. And you have to do that yourself. We don't teach how to meditate. We guide, we offer suggestions. Here's something that you might be able to calm yourself and go to a quiet place within yourself. But there is no right way to do it. It can't be taught. And so I consider my job as a minister is to look for things that people have expressed. That worked for me. That was wonderful. That enriched my life. And no one thing works for two people, ever. We're unique. So my job is to offer to you ideas, possibilities. This guy said if he painted his hair blue on the left side, he got $20 more in donations every week. Works for him. Probably wouldn't work for me at all. So that's one aspect of trying to stay unique. You know, I think, and I'm sure there's exceptions, and I don't want to generalize too much, but preachers, priests, rabbis, gurus, teachers, they all actually, for the most part, are trying to convince you to to accept their thoughts, their teachings, their ideas, their beliefs. I'm sure there's exceptions, but for the most part, and some people are quite happy and comfortable with that. But there are others, like the people in this room, not much wanting to be part of the sheep herd. They're seekers. They know there's something different. They know there's something outside of the pen that can have whole different sensation, can do a whole different thing inside your knowing. Okay, I've spoken enough about that part. I'm sure most of you have heard over maybe 20 years ago, 25 years ago, it was on PBS. Bill Moyers interviewed Joseph Campbell. It was a famous thing. They played it over and over and over and over again. I've watched it a half a dozen times. And there was one little piece of that caught my attention. And I actually did a talk on it 6.5 years ago. It's one of the first online messages one of our first messages on YouTube. And Joseph Campbell was very much into the myth and that kind of a thing. There was a whole group of thinkers amongst his contemporaries. But he said something. Bill Moyers asked him a question. He said, "Joseph, what do people really want?" And Joe Campbell said, most people don't know. They can't tell you what they want. But he said in studies, philosophy studies, behavioral studies, it seems like people have a longing to experience being alive. Now, being alive is not watching The Bachelor, checking the lottery, watching the news, and keeping an eye on the gas tank. That's the chaos and the taken care of and the obligatory activities that we do for the stuff we've signed up and agreed to. But I've listened to people who have claimed to have the experience of being alive. And most of what I've heard, and I'll share it with you, most of what I heard is when people are not watching television, driving down the road, maybe they're sitting in the grass between a couple of big old redwood trees out at the park. Maybe they're sitting by the ocean, quiet. Maybe they're sitting on the front yard, spending time with their cat and their dog. And they come to this awareness, this realization. Not only are they being alive, they are life. They are living. They're part of the living energy. And when I think we can go to the quiet place, maybe we're sitting in the house. I used to sit out at my place, which I call Chateau Debris, because I have debris. And I could sit out there in a lawn chair and drink coffee. I could actually hear and see the weeds grow. And in that moment, and you can hear weeds grow, you can. In that moment, I experienced being life. And I think all of us have the capacity and ability to look for ways when we can quiet it down and somehow be in communion with life. Everybody's different, got a different switch. Everybody's got a different practice that they can develop over time. And what we can do with each other, we can embrace and encourage each other. That didn't work. I've been trying for 3 months to meditate. I just can't. Well, maybe you can try something different. And we're all willing to sit and talk about it, discuss it. Maybe there's a book you can read that'll say it in a way you never heard it before. That'll get you to step out of your habitual, I can't. What if I tried that? What might happen? Open that window, open that door, give the possibility a chance. You might be quite surprised at what might happen. I think I said enough about that. Is everybody okay with that? Just there's another thing I heard a while back that was very interesting. You know, it's like, it's not an either. We don't become a spiritual person that is out there in quiet land experiencing undescribable things. We're human beings. We have families, we have jobs, we have neighbors. We have commitments that we signed on to. We have responsibilities we've chosen to bear up. And I think there are similarities in our spiritual life and awareness and our physical life and awareness. If we look purely in the physical world, and we look at some very successful people, Zuckerberg, Musk, who's the other guy, the Amazon guy or something, or what's that? Bezos. And when we look at these people who we consider in the physical world brilliant, rich, very successful, and having a sense of success about their physical lives, there's something that is common to those people. They have relinquished control. They have learned to trust the people around them. Elon Musk doesn't go to work carrying a tool belt, blue jeans, and work on stuff. Neither does Bezos. They hire the best people they can hire, believing that they can help in this team. Like Sabrena was talking about her team. And they trust those people to make this vision happen. And when they trust those people who are very qualified, who have shown success in other areas, when they trust those people, guess what happens? They wind up having great power, and they have relinquished their control, their need to control. There are other people who spout, I'm in charge, I can run it, and they have very little or no power because they're stuck in having control. And when you control something, you are giving your power to the things you are trying to control. Did I say that to where you can kind of get your head around it? So let's go to our spiritual life. When we try to control, I'm going to meditate at 7:15 tomorrow morning, and this is going to be my expected outcome of that meditation. We have lost our power to slip into another dimension of awareness. We're trying to control it. But when we You've all heard the old saying, let go and let God. But when we trust in spirit, we let go of the control. That's spirit control. And in so doing, we have the power to have amazing experiences. We have the power to accept people as they are. We have the power to not stand there and be worried to death, upset, angry, because we've allowed spirit to take care of the big stuff in our lives. If you just stop and look at the decisions you've made in the last 10 years, the big decisions, you could write them all down and then go back and critique them. How many of those have worked out well for you? If you're honest. But when you trust in spirit, when you share your time, your talent, your thought, and your treasure, when you accept people, when you show compassion, when you allow spirit to handle the abundance going through your life. How many times spirit let you down? How's that worked? So why wouldn't we, if we're thinking about having these expanded awareness of experience, why wouldn't we allow the control to be something that this force, this energy, that has a pretty good track record? Or maybe we're just too busy caught up trying to run our own stuff. And when we do that, we wind up frustrated. We wind up having anxiety. Haven't we all known somebody who, you look at their life, they volunteer, they tithe their money in different places they feel are warrantable. They share their thoughts, their compassion, have very great compassion and empathy. They're very kind, they're very thoughtful. And then sometimes some bumps in the road happen, and it knocks them out of that awareness, out of that place, out of that spot in life where they're letting the spirit kind of run the big stuff. And all of a sudden they start feeling fear and anxiety and, oh my God, this is happening, I can't. Well, how am I going to figure this out? Well, maybe just stop and take a break. And go back to what worked well for you. Back when you allowed spirit to control your contributions, to control your empathy, to control your acceptance, to make it okay to forgive yourself and others. We all bounce off the wagon, every one of us. But we're here to help each other, hold out our hand, help each other get back on the wagon. I've fallen off the wagon so many times I got bruises from my heel bones to my nose bone. But I have this family sitting here that reminds me constantly, Patrick, get your head out of your hind end and look around and start doing what you know is the right thing to do. So I'm going to continue as we go forward of looking for ideas that people have talked about that might have value, that might help us develop a personal internal practice where we can actually experience being alive, that we can actually have undescribable experience of communion with the divine in ourselves, communion with the divine in the people sitting next to you, with the beautiful flowers in the yard, with the hummingbirds, the butterflies. We're all part of that same energy. It's all one. And when we can work on practices, and it's practice over and over, when we can have more of those experiences of awareness, that we're all in this together. And it can be an adventure. It can be rewarding. It can be lovely. Or we can just, that's over. Now I got to worry about how I'm going to pay the phone bill. Jeez. It takes work, my dear friends. But if you want to go on a vacation, if you want to go on a journey, you have to work at it. Otherwise, you can sit back there on those old beliefs and opinions and just sit there and while away the hours till you're pushing up daisies. It's your choice. And each of us has the right to make whatever choice we choose. And I'm just glad each one of you is here to remind me about my choices and to be here when I need to talk to somebody. And to be here to encourage me to keep on going. You wore out, old dog. You can do it. You can do it. My dear friends, we have the universe at right here in the palm of our hands. And we're here to try to find ways to become aware of that more and more. And when we get to feeling, oh, wow, that awe, I guarantee you your life's going to be enriched. You're going to feel better about your life. And when you do that, here's the little thing. When you're in that space, when you have those moments, the people around you feel the difference in you. And just by your energy, just by your aura, you pass off. You've changed something in this universe. You've changed the energy exchange between you and that person standing next to you. And they may choose not to be aware of it, but what if they are aware of it? Who knows? Throw a rock in the pond, see where the ripples go. You don't know. But what do you got to lose? Sherry Bornaguidi has sung a song for us a bunch of times. Sing when the Spirit says sing, and dance when the Spirit says sing. Listen. Turn off the TV. Shut up your phone. Go sit down in a quiet place and see what Spirit is allowing you to do. Maybe it's to sing, maybe it's to dance, maybe it's to laugh. Let's do that. Let's stand up and sing. Sing when the Spirit says sing.
This 326.
326.
And when's the song? Have we sung this one before?
No, Sherry sung it to
recently.
us.
Not recently.
Shall I play it once through?
You may do that.
If I can.
Sing,
All right, let's take a moment and circle up in our family circle of love for a little amen experience. Are we ready? Kick it, maestro. Amen. And so it is.